Hey, it's Ramada Katria with www.brickhouse.com. And they say that laughter is the best medicine. Be careful of a natural overdose if you ever have the opportunity to see my next guest, our very first comedian, Mr. Kirk McHenry. How are you today, Kirk?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for, stopping by and talking with us here at Brickhouse Talk. So for my guests that don't know about you, can you give them a little history of who Kirk McHenry is?
I am the #1 comic in the Bay Area. No, I'm just joking. No, born and raised in Oakland, California. Been featured on 3 seasons of BET's Comic View, Jamie Foxx's Laugh-A-Palooza, finalist in the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition in 2010. Touring all over the world, been doing shows for the troops, been on several Far East tours, and been to Africa, just all over the country, all over the world. Wherever they book me, I go.
And my first experience when I seen you first, it was at a venue in Hayward, California. Humphreys, yes. No, it was before that. It was in Hayward, right off of Mission. Called the 821 Lounge, I think it was.
The room that I host.
Yes. You were hilarious. Yes, you were. And then I seen you at Humphreys. So tell me this. Let's take it back a little far back. How did you get started with being a comedian? And who told you that you were funny? How did this all evolve for you?
I really got started. I was just always the funny guy, but I never was like the class clown. I just made my friends laugh. And I had a buddy in high school who told me from like 10th grade till we graduated I should be a comedian. I never took him serious, even though I knew I wanted to at least try it. Went to college, didn't want to go to college, dropped out of college, joined the Marine Corps, was in the Marines for 4 years. Everybody in the Marines told me the same thing, so got out, did a couple open mics, and was fortunate enough to get, topped by some of the best in the Bay. Linnell, big shout out to my girl Linnell, Daniel Dugar, Rip the player, rest in peace. Dijon, who also passed away recently, were some of the people that brought me along. John Austin, Dennis Gaxiola. So they really helped me to, understand what being a comedian was all about, how to write jokes, how to work on my timing, facial expressions, how to work the crowd and stuff like that. I just got started right at the local spots, right? I actually started at Dorsey's Locker in Oakland, right off of Shattuck.
Okay, so when you were growing up, you didn't have those, I've seen on TV, or I think it was Richard Pryor when he used to perform in front of the family and stuff like that. Your family didn't make you do that?
They used to make me dance. I didn't do jokes in front. I did jokes about them when they didn't know it, but they would make me dance. So no, but no, Richard Pryor, that's who, the first time I ever heard a Richard Pryor record, I knew that's what I wanted to do in life. I was hooked at like age 7. I knew I just didn't know how to do it. And like I said, I got lucky to get, with the right people in the Bay Area who were doing the right things, and they steered me in the right direction. So it was just a blessing, actually.
So you would say Richard Pryor is like someone that you look up to as far as a comedian?
Definitely Rich. Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby, George Carlin, Stephen Wright is one of my all-time favorites. Ellen DeGeneres, who is my all-time favorite female comic. A lot of people don't understand me when I say that, but Ellen DeGeneres is the bomb, I'm telling you. Who else? Then, like the new people out here now, I love Chris Rock. Well, he's not really new anymore, but like Kevin Hart, Cat Williams. A lot of people, and it's funny because it's like the people that I look up to, who I grew up looking up to, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of them. So I've gotten advice from them, and it's just cool when it's cool when they're cool, when they don't blow the whole image that you have of them by being what something that you don't think they are. But no, everybody that I've worked with has been cool so far.
So it's interesting because I never knew that you have to think about timing, your facial expression, so all that comes to play.
Everything. I mean, it's funny because when you're on the outside looking in, you think it's just getting on there telling jokes, but like a good joke, a really good joke, like a 2-minute bit on stage may take 6 months to get it to where you really like it. And I'm a perfectionist, so if it doesn't work, if it's not the way I want it to work, I'm not gonna do it. I'll keep working at it and working at it and working at it, but it's a lot of fun. I love it. So it's really not work to me. It's what I love to do. I feel like this is what I was put on earth to do, is to make people laugh. So it's not work to me.
So where was your very first performance, and how did you feel when you walked out on the stage, and how did you do?
My very first performance, no one believes me when I say this, so I'm gonna put it on here on record. My first performance was in Norfolk, Virginia. I don't even remember the name of the place. It was after I got out the Marines. I did a comedy competition, and the winner got to open for somebody who was coming to town, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be my first time on stage. And it was horrible. I told 3 jokes, and the dude came and took the mic out of my hand and was like, "Don't quit your day job." So,
Oh my God.
now, I'm serious. That's exactly what he told me. So I just was like, okay. But I knew it's what I wanted to do. I knew I could do it. I just didn't know how to do it. And then like I said, when I moved back, when I hooked up with the people in the Bay, and the people in Oakland, all my friends now, that's when it all came together.
So, Kirk, is comedy something that you have to have, or is it something you could be taught to be a comedian?
I think you have to be funny. But I think that people can teach funny people how to be comedians. They can teach them about the timing and stuff like that. Because I know a lot of people who have they're not afraid to get on stage, but they're just not funny. They can write, but they can't deliver. So I think you have to be born funny. You have to look at life through a comic's eyes. Like, you have to look at the funny side of things, stuff like that. But as far as being taught, I don't think anyone can be taught how to be funny. You have to, that has to come naturally. But as far as the timing, the stage presence, all that can be taught. Those, when people offer these classes and these books and stuff like that, yeah, definitely that. But somebody tell you they're gonna teach you how to be funny, they're lying.
I've been at several comedy shows, and I oftentimes see hecklers. How do you feel about those hecklers, the people in the audience that are talking back or saying disrespectful things?
Stay at home. Don't try to be funny. No, I'm not that type of comic. You have a lot of comedians out there that they look forward to that. They want that to happen, but I've never been a comic like that. It takes a lot for me to come back at a heckler. I'll usually act like I don't hear them, but if you push the right button, I will make you the show. And I don't care if it's your first date, your mama's there, whatever. You bring it on yourself, you're going to be the show. And if you get your feelings hurt, it's your fault.
You heard that? So beware. So every show that I've seen you in, you've been the headliner. So that means you have a lot of respect out here in the Bay Area, and I commend you for that. Well deserved. So before a show, do you already know what material you're going to use, or is it based upon your audience that's there, what have you? How do you prepare for a show?
Well, every comic has their routine down. You know what you're going to do. So you have it set in your mind what you're going to do. But one thing that I got, some great advice that I got years ago from Linnell was to look at your crowd before you go on stage. You want to see who's there. You want to see, are they predominantly male? Are they predominantly female? Are they predominantly black? Are they predominantly white? And then you play to the majority. You include everybody, but you play to the majority. So and then there are always those times when, things happen during the course of the show, so it's coming off the top of your head, and those are the funniest things. But no, if you're a real comic and you really are serious about this, you have a routine. And so if something doesn't, because you may get a crowd where they're totally silent, which I've experienced too, which is the worst feeling in the world, which is worse than any heckler. 7 minutes of silence, trust me, is a long time. Very long time. So no, you have your set routine, but off the cuff is always good. You always want to be able to think on your feet and just keep the crowd involved as much as possible.
Okay, so one of my most memorable jokes of yours is the one about relationships and dating women with kids, and the little kid, if you use your man voice. I love that one. So as far as relationship, are you this funny guy all the time in a relationship, or is there a serious side to Kirk McHenry, or are you playful or make jokes and all that stuff at all times?
I try to be serious as little as possible. Life is too serious. I like to laugh. I like to joke. I do have a serious side. A lot of people don't see it though, because I like to make people laugh. I've been like that my whole life. I love to see people smile. So yeah, my relationship, with my girl, we do laugh a lot. And that joke, the baby voice, that is true.
Is it really? I was going to ask.
Truth is about her 9-year-old son. It's a true story. So that's why I think my style of comedy is is popular. It's everyday life. I tell people that's my style. I do observation comedy. I think everyday life is the funniest thing in the world. So, but no, off the stage, I like to make people laugh, but I'm more. I make my friends laugh. People that know me, they know how funny, because people tell me all the time, my friends that really know me, they say, oh, he's 10 times funnier off stage when he's just being himself. Even though the person on stage is me, it's a part of me, but when I'm around friends, it goes way deeper. It can be a lot funnier.
So where would you like to perform that you haven't performed at? What venue?
I'm gonna sell out the Coliseum in about the next year and a half. Margaret, I'm saying it right here, Oakland Coliseum. I'm gonna sell it out in the next year and a half. Kirk McHenry, you're gonna see it on 880. It's gonna say Kirk McHenry sold out. So no, I definitely want to do that. I want to perform. Where would I like to perform? New York, Madison Square Garden. I mean, just the really big venues, but not necessarily all the big venues. I want to hit the stages that, you know, a lot of people like Pryor and all them hit when they were coming up, like over in San Francisco, a room that we do, the Purple Onion, where Lenny Bruce made it legendary, and Richard Pryor was over there, and they were doing it. We do that. So, I mean, the rooms that have meaning and have history behind them are always fun to do, but, you know, it's nothing like hearing, you know, 5,000 people laugh. That's an incredible feeling to do a really big sold out, like a concert tour. That's one of the greatest feelings in the world.
I could so see you selling at the Coliseum.
Oh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, and who else would you want on that ticket with you? Or is it just going to be solo Kirk McHenry?
No, never that. No, never that. No, I like a lot of people out there, but I like working with a lot of guys from out here. I like the up and coming guys from the Bay Area. You know, my buddy G King out of Vallejo, California, who's one of my regular guys who works with me a lot. Keon Poley out of the Pittsburgh, Antioch area, who's hilarious, up and coming guy. And then just the people who helped me, Linnell, Dugard, John Austin, Dennis Gaxiola. I mean, you know, even Mark Curry, who really got it, you know, it started in Oakland with the whole Hang with Mr. Cooper thing and everything, who's actually a good friend of mine now. So, I mean, look for it. Next couple of years, you're going to look for it. It's going to be called, we're going to call it the Town Business Comedy Tour. It's going to be off the hook. It's going to be the only thing about Oakland that's a joke, because y'all know Oakland ain't no joke.
And you heard it first on Brickhouse Talk. So, okay, what is your thought about female comedians? You know, you had one at the show. What's the name of the lounge that you host now?
It's formerly the 821 Lounge. It's now the Campus Club. And the female that you're referring to is a good friend of mine, Arana Browning, out of Chicago. She's now in Los Angeles.
She was bad. Love her.
She's incredible. She's a very funny lady, very funny lady. We actually did a week out in Sacramento at Laughs Unlimited, and she featured for me out there. Very funny. You pay close attention. Arana Browning, remember that name. You're going to be hearing big things from her real soon.
So I know that, well, I talked to her briefly, and she was just saying in so many words that female comedians don't get a lot of respect. Mm-hmm. Why is that the case?
I think just because it's a male-dominated game. And I think that a lot of people out there, they rather see women as eye candy on stage. A lot of men don't want to hear what they have to say. Unfortunately, you got females like Arana who, if you listen, you'll be very impressed at what she does. Also, I think that, I mean, me personally, I don't like to hear women that just male bash or just talk, you know, a lot of sex jokes, stuff like that. I like women that have material that make me think and are witty and clever, like, you know, Arana. Like I say, that's why I like Ellen DeGeneres one time. I don't think I've ever heard Ellen tell a sex joke or even, you know, use a lot of foul language. That's another thing. I don't like to hear women curse at all. So I think that has a lot to do with it. As far as, you know, if they're clever or not, they have to be clever. And, you know, I mean, it doesn't hurt if they are an attractive female, but, you know, 5 seconds after being on stage, if you're not funny, you ain't cute no more. So you gotta have the material to back it up.
So, Kirk, how do you feel that comedy has changed from the Richard Pryor days until now?
I mean, I think it was a lot more pure when Richard Pryor was doing it. I think that a lot of comics now are looking for the easy way. Unfortunately, they try to do gimmicks. You know, they try to do something that'll get them, you know, ahead quicker. They try to find little hooks and angles. And I mean, with me, I don't believe in gimmicks. I think that, you know, I had a promoter tell me one time, you need a gimmick. You need a good gimmick to get you to the next level. And I told him my gimmick is my talent. You know, I keep it pure. I keep it to the purest form. So, unfortunately, I mean, that's it. You know, people they're in a hurry to get there without paying their dues. And, you know, in this game, you have to pay your dues. So, I mean, and you know, Linnell taught me that. And anybody who knows Linnell's history from doing things like Soul Beat and things out here to, you know, now she has a movie coming out this summer with Adam Sandler. I mean, you can't you can't deny it. You have to pay dues in order to get there. And, so that's the only thing I can say is the gimmicks. I mean, it's the same thing with hip hop. It's so commercial now. Everything is so commercial, and everybody wants to try to, find that quick, easy way to get there. Me personally, I'll buy my time because I'd rather get there based on who I am. I'm not selling out for nobody.
I like that. So earlier you mentioned that you went overseas in support of our troops. So how was that experience?
I love it. I'm a prior military man myself. As you can see, I wear my dog tags, Marine Corps dog tags. I love going overseas for the troops, just showing the support for them, letting them know that we're thinking about them all the time. Not just because there's a war going on, but just that we keep them near and dear to our hearts at all times. And just going over there just to see the smiles and everything is cool. And then to go back to the places where I was actually stationed is fun, and to see guys that I was stationed with who are still over there, who are still in, and they're really high-ranking people now. It's fun. I love it. I go every chance I get.
So how long was your stay there?
Well, the last time we went, we went to where did we go? We went to Japan and we went to Guam. That was a quick one. It was only like a week. But before that, we went to Okinawa and Fuji. That was a 2-week tour. But I've done ones where I've been in Korea for like a month. I've done other ones in the last 3 weeks where we went from Saudi Arabia over to Africa and stuff like that. So it just depends on whose run it is and how many shows they have. That'll determine how long you're gonna be over there.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about other comedians, using other comedians' material, and have that ever happened to you?
Yes, it has happened to me, unfortunately, and to all comics out there using other people's material. If you have run out of ideas, get out the business. Stop waiting on these dudes who open for you, and just because you got access to get back to Hollywood before them, or you might be able to say something on TV before them, that don't make it your joke. If you're out of ideas, get out of the business and become somebody's manager.
Wow. So I take it that was a personal thing right there. So someone actually did that to you.
I've seen 3 or 4 of my jokes on TV before, and you know who you are, who I'm talking to, because I hit you up on Facebook because you got that joke from me when we was in Hawaii that time.
You know who you are. But that's awful, though. Really, it is. And I'm sure it's very disrespectful as well. So have you ever been on stage and, let me say, what is the most embarrassing thing that has ever occurred to you on stage? Or has it ever happened to you?
The worst thing that ever happened to me was, when you were asking me about the hecklers or anything, I've been heckled. I haven't really been heckled bad. I've never gotten booed off stage or anything like that. I know comedians that say they've gotten booed. The worst thing that ever happened to me on stage was I did a 7-minute set one time, and there was total silence for the whole time. I didn't get not one laugh the whole time, and I never thought 7 minutes was that long. It felt like an eternity. I was praying on stage. In my mind, I was like, God, if they laugh one time, I swear I'll get off the stage right now. But, I took it. I came back the next week, did my thing, and, that was probably about at least 10 years ago. So here I am, and nights like that are what separate the real comics from from the ones who are just perpetrating.
I'm very fond of a lot of your material, and I just thought about the joke that you said about black people don't throw away anything or something or whatever, and the guy at the club dancing, and he looked around in his underwear because it was just the band right around the neck. That is hilarious. So how do you come up, after coming off tour or what have you, how do you come up with new material?
I just write stuff when it hits me. That joke right there is actually true. That's true. My girl made me throw my favorite Tommy Hilfiger drawers away because it wasn't none but a band, basically. I mean, it wasn't as bad as I say in the joke, but they was like, the crotch was gone. So, no, I write jokes whenever they hit me. I always have pieces of paper all over my car or all over my work area by my computer. But no, I write them when they hit me. I mean, I don't think there's any format to writing jokes. I think if you try to press the issue, that's when you get writer's block and you can't come up with anything. And then it's funny because I was talking to a good friend of mine, Nima Williams, who's another comic from Oakland, who's really doing his thing. And we were in Korea one time, and I was telling him, I said, man, I don't write as many jokes as I used to. And he was saying, because we write quality now, we're not writing quantity. So That's another thing. If something strikes me as funny, I'll write it. But if I think that it'll only make me laugh, I won't write it. I'll just keep it to myself.
Okay, so we like to do a little segment called My Favorite Things. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Godfather Part 2.
Okay, I like that one too. I like one better though, but two is.
2 is when Michael was in charge. Man, Michael was the man. He was putting it down in that one. That's one of my favorites. I say Godfather Part 2 and the 5 Heartbeats.
Oh, love the 5 Heartbeats.
And Grease. See, people don't think I watch stuff like that. Grease is the word.
The one with John Travolta or the other one? The number 2 or 1?
If you were a true fan, you wouldn't have even asked me that.
What? So the one with?
One with John Travolta.
No, I like 2 though.
Oh no! See, you just lost cool points with me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so what is your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant. Lately, I've been hitting up Chili's a lot. They have a Cobb salad that I love. So I mean, it's like it's funny because I walk in Chili's now and it's like Norm from Cheers. They're like Kirk, and they already know what I want. So right now, I'd have to say Chili's is my favorite restaurant right now.
Your favorite vacation spot?
Favorite vacation spot, I would have to say, I like going to Japan. I love when I get booked to go to Japan. I think Japan is like one of the most beautiful places, especially Okinawa. Okinawa looks like a huge postcard. So I would say Japan.
Okay, and your favorite musical artist right now? What type of music you like to listen to?
Jay-Z. I like Jay-Z. Jay-Z is still #1 rapper out there right now. Everybody else, Jay-Z is an MC. I take that back. He's the #1 MC. He's an MC. He's not a rapper. So I listen to Jay-Z. That's like who I'm really listening to a lot right now. So.
Okay. And your favorite actress or actor?
Favorite actor? Of course Denzel, but I like other people. Jack is still the man. Samuel L. Jackson. I like John Turturro. I like what's my man from Born Identity? Matt Damon. Matt Damon is one of my favorite actresses. Who am I really feeling? I like Regina King. I love Regina King. I like Angela Bassett. I like her. I'm old school.
Regina King kills me in the cartoon Boondocks. Have you ever checked that out?
I love the Boondocks. That's one of the funniest things ever created. That is hilarious.
That's your granddad.
Oh man, no, I like Uncle Ruckus, the black dude that don't like black people. That is hilarious. Remind me of some of the people in my family.
That is too funny. What should we expect from you in the future? Do you want to go into movies, or what's next on your plate?
I want to do it all. I mean, movies, TV, writing. Writing is my passion. I mean, I always say I want to end up behind the scenes, writing, producing, directing, stuff like that, where the real money is. Because a lot of people think, oh, Will Smith getting $35 million for his movie. I'm like, yeah, but think how much I'm giving him if I'm giving him that check, how much I'm getting. So, no, I end up behind the scenes, but movies, TV, all that good stuff. I'll always be a stand-up at heart, though. I mean, I could never stop doing this. I tell people all the time, if I couldn't do stand-up, I'd be on the roof sniping folks, because this is like therapy to me. So, I'm going to always be a true stand-up at heart. But there are other things I want to do. And just helping other comics, up-and-coming comics, that's like a passion of mine. I haven't had a hard career, but there were a couple little bumps in the road. And anybody I can help avoid just the little things, to make it easier, and just, if they can help the next person coming up behind them, and just keep the game honest, man. Keep it up front. Do business on the up and up. That's all.
What are your thoughts about the late Bernie Mac?
Incredible dude, incredible talent. I was glad that I got to see him. I never got the opportunity to work with him, but I was glad that I got to see him work, because he was a master of his craft. He was a student of comedy, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. You have to be a student of this. It's not just getting on there doing it and just making up stuff and all this. You have to look at the people from the past who paved the way for us, and you got to give them their due and give them their respects. But no, he was great. I wish he could have been around a lot longer, because I think that he would still be on top of the game right now.
I agree, definitely. So what are you working on now? Where can someone, if they want to go out and check you out, where can they come and see you?
Well, you can always catch me Thursday nights over at the Campus Club in Hayward. I'm back hosting that room, formerly the 821 Lounge. I'm leaving this week. I will be in Los Angeles. I'll be at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room on Thursday. I'll be at the Hollywood Improv Friday, and then I will be back in Oakland. I have a show May 6th in Oakland, in downtown Oakland, Jack London Square, with Michael Collier, who played Showboat in House Party 3. Other than that, just hitting the road a lot more, going out to North Carolina, got some shows coming up in Chicago, hitting up the East Coast in the summer, and just, grinding, just doing what I do.
Making it happen for the Coliseum, right?
Oh yeah, making it happen.
So I know you're on Twitter and you're on Facebook. You want to give that information as well?
Oh yeah, hit me up on Twitter and all that good stuff. I mean, you can hit me up on Twitter. I really don't get on Twitter that much. You probably hit me up on Facebook more. Just Kirk McHenry on Facebook. All that good stuff. Just, I approve all the friends. I answer all my stuff. It's not somebody else. It's not my manager hitting you back. So that is me answering questions or whatever. And, just giving out my personal, words of inspiration every morning, because I give it up to God every day.
Yeah, that's what I forgot to mention. Hobbies. What are your hobbies? Because, Brickhouse Talk, we're about sports as well. So other than comedy, when you're just kicking back, just doing you, what do you like to do?
I love baseball. Baseball has always been my passion. I love going to games. I love watching games. I love sports. I love all sports, except for NASCAR. I can't get into that because I'm from Oakland. We call NASCAR high-speed chases out here. So, I'm a Christian. I put God first always. Church every Sunday, Bible study. I like shooting pool with people that know how to shoot pool. I don't believe in if you just hit all the balls and one goes in. You did not call that. Like I said, in comedy, I love comedy. I love movies, but like going to the open mic, seeing the up and coming people who seeing what they're doing, seeing how other comics are clever with their stuff, and I'm a real humble, down home person. I just like to hang out. That's my thing. Hanging out with friends. I still got the same friends from high school, so that's me.
So would you say that right now that there's always things to learn, right? So you're still learning as a comedian?
Definitely. I learn something new pretty much every show I do. So yeah, you have to be a student of this, and you got to have thick skin. That's what you got to understand. Anybody watching this, if you're thinking about getting into comedy or the entertainment business in any form, if you don't have thick skin, if you can't take constructive criticism, you might want to think of something else to do, because this is not for you.
Well, I am so happy that you stopped by. You are the very first comedian that we've had on the show, and we really appreciate it. So is there any special acknowledgements you want to give to someone today, anybody that's been in your corner and supported you, throughout your career?
Just everybody, all the comedians in the Bay. Like I said, big shout out to Linnell, Daniel Dugar, John Austin, Dennis Gaxiola, Rip the Player, Dijon. I know you guys watching me right now. I'm still representing for both of you. The people who first really looked out for me, my good friends who drove me around the shows when I wasn't making no money, and all they said was, can we get in and get a free drink? They still ride with me right now. And just, people like yourself who look out for me and, try to help me get to the next level. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely have our support going forward. Let us know if we can come out to support you, and, whatever's going on in you, we can put it on our website. And you have to do me a favor now. I know there's not an audience or anything, but normally when people come on the show, they leave a little something for those that don't know about them. I don't know, is there a joke or something you could tell that's kind of funny that someone that's watching may like, dang, is there something? I mean, not kind of, Kirk. I mean, I know it's going to be like bending over, laughing funny, but okay, yeah.
I'll tell you this. It's a joke and it's a public service announcement at the same time. I've been all over the world doing comedy, and only in America are people afraid of their children. Only in America, people are afraid of their children. People are on TV crying, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? He said he'll dial 911. Buy rotary phones, people. Do you know how long it takes to dial 911 on a rotary phone? You can beat your kid for at least 3 more minutes.
Oh my God. And this is nothing compared to seeing him in person. You guys, please check out Kirk McHenry. And he's there, Hayward, at the
Campus Club, formerly the 821 Lounge, every Thursday night at 10 o'clock. We got some of the hottest comics from the Bay Area and headliners from all over the country.
Well, thank you again for stopping by Brickhouse Talk. We appreciate it. Wish you nothing but success. And I'm Ramonda Cottrell with www.brickhousetalk.com.